Today we're going to talk about the story of numbers. Where do numbers come from? What do they mean? So what we're going to start with are the very first numbers from the very beginning, which are called the counting numbers, and they come from how we count on our fingers. So our smallest counting number is number 1, because that's the smallest thing we can count with. So we're going to start right here with the counting numbers, and those start at 1, and they can continue on. Because if I can get my fingers and my toes, I can go to 20, and then I can get all my friends together and keep going on and on and on and on. So the counting numbers can go on to infinity if we can literally get everyone in the world together and count every single finger and toe. Well, the cavemen were the first people who really started working with numbers, and they knew 0. And those are the whole numbers, which are 0 in all of the counting numbers. So you start counting at 0 with the whole. And the cavemen tried to add and subtract with them. So we're going to use Caveman Bob and Caveman Steve. And Caveman Bob says, ugh, what if I have one number and I add 2 and I get 3? And that's all good. This is a whole number added to another whole number, which is still a whole number. Caveman Steve says, well, what if I take 2 plus 1? That makes 3, and they're both right. Now what if they subtract? I take 2, I take away 1, I get 1. Still whole numbers. Caveman Bob says, I take 2, take away 3, oh crap. I have a problem, right? 2 minus 3 is something new. This number is something completely new, and it is called an integer. Integers are the opposites of whole numbers. So 1 has an opposite. It's -1. So -1 is considered to be an integer. You will notice that integers are all the whole numbers and all the counting. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and all of their opposites. So -2 is in here, -10, -4, those are all included. Now, Caveman Bob and Steve work again with multiplying and dividing. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 5, 10. Still good. Whole, whole, and whole. Now, Caveman Steve says 10 divided by 2 equals 5. Still good. 2 divided by 10, oh crap, right? New number. This number is nothing that we have so far. It is 1/5 or 0.2 when you simplify. This is a new number. This is a fraction, which we call a ratio. So these are your rational numbers. 1/5 is an example of 1, which is the same thing as 0.2. Rational numbers include all of these types. So let's take 2 for example. 2 is counting, 2 is whole, 2 is an integer, and 2 is also rational because I can make a fraction out of it. How? 2 over 1, 4 halves, so on and so forth. I can keep going. So, I want you to do a little bit of practice right now with different types of numbers and how they're put together.